Hello, and welcome to HCS Connects. I'm Kelly Gorel with Hampton City Schools. Today, we have a special guest with us, our curriculum leader of foreign language and ESL, Dr. Andrew Lloyd. So welcome to HCS Connects.
Thank you.
And this is your first time, correct?
Yes.
And I promise it's not going to be scary. So I said foreign language and ESL, English as a second language. So there's one of you, but that's obviously two jobs.
Yes.
So you're wearing two hats. So let's talk about foreign language to begin with. Tell us about foreign language in Hampton City Schools.
So our foreign language program here in Hampton City Schools runs from 7th grade through 12th grade, where students have the opportunity to take Spanish, French, German, and Latin. Our middle schools currently offer Spanish, and French is offered at the Gifted Center at Spratly. Students can take levels 1 and 2, and then when they get to high school can start any of the 4 languages from level 1 and work their way up. We do have AP opportunities as well through Virginia Online, but students are able to start their language learning in 7th grade. In 6th grade, we offer an Intro to World Languages course to get students primed about what language learning is and how that can benefit their lives moving forward.
So you say they have the opportunity in 7th grade. We know our middle schools are 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, or our pre-K through 8 schools have it 6th, 7th, and 8th. But that's just an option for them. They don't have to start taking foreign language until high school,
Correct.
as far as for graduation. But that's there if they're ready and they're interested and they've got that passion and wanted to dive into that. And you said Spanish is offered at all of our middle schools for
Yes.
7th and 8th graders, but then Spratly also has French.
Yes.
So Spanish and French, then they get to high school and they have the opportunity of German and Latin on top of that.
Yes.
So what do they have to take in order for graduation requirements?
To get the Advanced Studies Diploma, you need 3 years of consecutive language, so level 1, 2, and 3 of any of the languages, or you can do 2 years of one language and 2 years of another. So if you did Spanish 1 and 2, and then French 1 and 2, that would satisfy that requirement for the Advanced Studies Diploma. For the Standard Diploma, we're looking for at least 1 credit of a foreign language, but the 3 is for the Advanced Studies Diploma.
All right, but we also offer those advanced placement, those AP courses, even in foreign language. Why would a student, what's the advantage of taking those advanced courses?
So right away, it's the college credit that can come with passing those exams. In addition, students are thinking at a higher level, their skills are more critical, and it just puts them at an advantage of other students who would not go that far in their foreign language study.
Which is wonderful, because if you think about how expensive college is for our families, to have that opportunity to have, technically to have a certain amount of credits in college or even test out in college. Now you also, we have the IB program over at Hampton High.
Yes.
How does that go with hand in hand in the AP foreign language?
So it's in a similar boat. The IB program just is longer. So it's something that the students start in 9th grade in the pre-IB courses, and then once they hit 11th grade and they're in the diploma program, they spend 2 years in really studying the language. It's a lot of literature study and essay writing and learning more skills that you wouldn't necessarily get in AP just because of how much more time they have in there. And that actually offers the opportunity for more credits to be earned in college as well.
Up to about how many? do you
About
think?
6.
About 6. So 6 through the IB program, and doing the AP route through our other high schools, about 3. So we need to really look into those IB kids potentially coming back and being one of our instructors, because they've had quite the years of experience in that language.
Definitely.
So that's foreign language. Anything else we need to know about foreign language for our students? Places to go for resources?
We're just trying to encourage them. We're trying to reach out to the elementary schools and the middle schools to really pump up our programs and build those up so that we're getting more students involved and really encouraging the higher levels. A lot of students do stop after level 3 because they've met that graduation requirement, but we're trying to encourage the 4 and 5 because colleges are looking at those and saying, oh, I see you're taking more than just the required amount, and they're looking for that. So we're really trying to push our programs to expand them as well.
Like I said, what a great opportunity to take those AP classes and to potentially earn those college credits or test out of those credits before you get there, which is a huge money-saving opportunity for our families. So that's your foreign language hat.
Yes.
Yeah, it's only one, but you have a second hat, and that's ESL, our English as a second language. Explain that to our families. What is English as a second language?
So this program it was new to me coming back to Hampton City Schools, and learning about it has been fantastic. So it's for our students that come to our schools where their first or native language is not English. So they take a screener test to figure out where they fall into a level of proficiency, and we place them into a program where they are receiving extra instruction in English to develop those academic language skills in mathematics, history, science, and reading.
About how many languages do you think we have in Hampton?
We have around 50 languages spoken throughout our district.
Wow, give us a couple of examples.
Spanish is our largest language, Arabic, Chinese, Japanese, and then just languages from all over the world. There's not one spot that has the most, but we do have a very big representation of the languages throughout the world.
So 50.
Yes.
That's a lot with your second hat. So what opportunities or resources do we have for those students?
So we have schools where students go to receive instruction, additional instruction in the English. We have certified English as a second language teachers that are working with them in conjunction with their general education teachers to co-teach and provide that targeted instruction on the needs of the students. We separate them based on their levels through the WIDA testing, which is the national testing that we use here in Virginia. It breaks students down into 6 different levels from 1 to 6. Students test out of the program after about 4.4 on the test. So based on those levels, we have students in groups and we work on those skills based on what that says they can do and where they need to go.
So currently we have 3 schools that support, or actually maybe even 4 schools that really support a lot of those 50 languages. I believe it's Langley Elementary School at the elementary level, Lindsay Middle, but you also had mentioned earlier when you and I were talking that I believe it's Phoenix as well that has a very large population in Hampton High School.
Yes.
But how are we expanding that program?
We're expanding the program looking to offer services to students at their zone schools, wherever those may be, and if they choose to accept those services once they're available at those schools. So a program that has traditionally been in 3 schools is now expanding to really meet the needs of our students and our population.
Which is excellent, because we always say every child, every day, whatever it takes.
Exactly.
So looking to put those services, and right now, if they're at Langley or Lindsay or even Hampton, transportation.
Transportation is provided to them, so they can come from all over the city in our bus to those schools to receive their services.
And as we expand and roll out, do we have a target of where we're heading first or second?
We're looking to see where the needs are going to be based on the WIDA testing, which will show which students still require English instruction, and we'll find out where they're zoned, and we'll take a big look at the overall picture to see what would be best to really start expanding that program.
And what about the families that are coming in? What is the registration process?
So the registration process is students typically go to their zone school and they begin to fill out the registration form. Once they indicate that there's another language other than English spoken in the home, they stop the registration process and they direct them to our office, where we greet them and we offer them the screening test to learn about their English proficiency level. And from there, we then direct them to the school that would best suit their needs for their English learning.
Where is your office?
Our office, we used to be at SAC at 1 Franklin Street, but we have now moved to the Patriot Center, former Tarrant Elementary School, 1589 Wingfield Drive. We're right in there. We're working on getting some new signage put up so that families can be easily directed to our office. But we did move, so we have more space, and we're working on building a food pantry and a clothing closet to really meet the needs of a lot of our families. We have families that come from all over and sometimes with not a lot, so we're trying to be able to help them and provide
all different types of resources to make it, their transition successful to Hampton.
Yes.
I know you and I have worked together just recently as far as the messaging for some of those languages. Just for example, school closings. If we have to alter our schedule, that could be difficult for our families to understand exactly what's going on. And so putting like the Google Translate, which is not the best, but it's definitely a resource on our website so that parents can go and pick that language they want to see to get information, and how we are going to address in the future as far as we have a delay, how to get that out there to our families a little bit easier for that language, so that they know what's going on, so that they're not standing at a bus stop for hours wondering why did the bus not come, when they might not realize we've had a half inch of snow and we're closed. I joke about half inch of snow, but it does happen around here.
Definitely. And really just being able to, like you said, provide that for those families. And the Google Translate, while it might not be the best, the general idea does come across. So that's a big step forward. Excellent.
Anything else that you need to share as far as the world of ESL?
No, it's exciting. It's growing. We're getting students daily from all over, and we're just looking forward to meeting their needs and really inviting them into our diverse school system and learning from them as well.
And that's not a brand new system by any means. That's something that Hampton's offered for a long time. We've always had students, with very diverse backgrounds and languages. And I shared with you earlier, it's kind of dating me, but way back in the day when I went into the field of education, that I was an ESL tutor and helped out middle school students. And so it's always been very important and on the forefront, because we want every child to succeed and in school and in life.
Definitely.
So, well, thank you so much for being here today.
I appreciate it.
All right. And thank you all for joining us on HCS Connects. In the meantime, stay connected with us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Go over to our YouTube channel or even our website. Thanks and have a great day.